was telling how she hadn't had no candy since she left her home 2 months ago. Sydney then thought he'd try his hand at drawing out Jerry and began on a series of animated questions about the Everglades. But Jerry was either no conversationalist or he did not feel communicative that day, for not a word could the boy draw from him. Nods and grunts, affirmative or negative, he granted, but not another expression issued from behind his solemn beard. At last the boy gave it up in despair, and the two visitors rose and took their departure. No one asked them to come again except the woman who was plainly trying to make up for the deficiency in affability of her lord and master. "He's got the misery in his back today," she explained. "He's often took that way. That's why he can't live in them swamps no more." The girl seemed to have faded imperceptibly into the background and was nowhere to be seen when they left. But down by the edge of the pool and well out of sight of the house, they were suddenly arrested by her figure, rising up unexpectedly from a big scrub palmetto clump. "Wait," she said. "Don't talk too loud, please." And she glanced over her shoulder back at the cottage. I want to thank you again for the candy." "Oh, the thanks are all on my side," exclaimed Sid gallantly. "If it hadn't been for you I might have been in pretty bad shape. The doctor said you made a splendid job of it. Left very little for him to do." "I'm glad," she said simply, then hurried on. "But I want to say something else. I don't want them to know. They mightn't like it. But I wish you would come often, both of you. I'm lonesome." She stopped abruptly, as if frightened at having said so much. "Why, of course we'll come," declared Bernice, impulsively. "We'll come every time we can manage it and we'll take you out in the car for rides sometimes, if you care to go." "Oh, no, no," the girl protested in quite inexplicable panic. "I can't do that. They wouldn't like it." "But why not?" demanded Bernice indignantly. "It's perfectly safe. Sydney is a splendid driver." "It isn't that. They don't care for me to see many people." Bernice stared at her in amazed incredulity. "But pardon me, may I ask why? What possible harm can there be in it?" The girl became very much embarrassed. "It is hard to explain. I know. I just can't explain it. I'm afraid." "But if they think I am seeing any outsiders much, they will move away again to some place that is farther off from people." "I can't understand it," cried Bernice, but Sydney interposed. "Well, never mind if you can't. That's not our affair. But we'll come whenever we can, anyway. How shall we manage it, though, if we're not to let Mr. Sawgrass and his wife know of our visits?" He turned questioningly to the girl. "If you'll leave the car a good ways off in the brush and never come over this side of the pool, it'll be all right. Don't try to call me or signal to me in any way. I'll be over there a part of every day. I'll always see you." "But won't they I mean your father and his wife ever come over on this side?" questioned Sydney. An indignant flush spread under the girl's dark skin. He isn't that is, I call him Uncle Jerry," she retorted. "No, they will not go over that side. The truth is he has some kind of disease. I don't know what it is. The hookworm, perhaps. Though he sees an old doctor up this way sometimes, and he says it isn't the hookworm. Anyhow, he can't live in the Everglades any more, and he can't get around much. And she," an expression of faint contempt appeared in her face for an instant, "she takes snuff and is very lazy. She never goes out of the house or beyond the yard and garden if she can help it. She won't go round the pool." She walked along with them to the other side of the pool, and they came to where the car stood. Bernice's mind was fairly sizzling with a host of questions that she longed to ask, yet something in the strange girl's restraint prevented her from uttering them. "You've been very, very good to me," the girl said wistfully as they clambered in, "to bring me all that candy. I never had anything like it before." "Tell me," asked Bernice, for this she felt would be a quite legitimate question, "have you lived in the Everglades all your life before this?" "Yes, either in them or right on the edge. This is the first time I've ever been so far from them." As they started the car and prepared to drive away, Bernice suddenly leaned out. "We'll come again very soon. But I 'most forgot. We haven't even told you our names. I'm Bernice Conant and this is my cousin, Sydney Conant. We're living at Jasper, the phosphate town about 12 miles from here, and shall we call you Dell?" Again the annoyed flush crept up under the girl's dark skin. "They call me that, but my real name is Delight." And she turned and disappeared into the underbrush. Chapter 3